If you have been looking for a remote job and your entire strategy is opening LinkedIn every morning and typing remote jobs and applying everything you see, this is actually a video that you need to listen to. This video is for you because LinkedIn is such a great platform, but it's not the only place where you can actually get remote opportunities. So there are other platforms that actually have remote opportunities, and they exist in other platforms. So there are specialized job boards where companies actually specifically go to find remote talent. There are job boards that are for startups. There are job boards that are for tech professionals. There are job boards that are for creatives, that is platforms for creatives. And there are job boards that are for operational professionals, for virtual assistant, for customer support, for marketers, sorry, and even for people who want to work in the gaming and esports. So today I even have a sites for those of you who want to work in the e-gaming and esports sector of the remote work. So today I'm going to give you actually 10 sites. I've done so many sites. The last two videos on this channel before this actually are about sites, and we are not going to repeat any of the sites. I've mentioned the first sites which were general sites. The second sites were actually the freelancing sites. And so today we are going to talk about the startup and specialized job boards that you should actually know if you're looking to get into remote work. All right. So we are going to actually know which platforms are these, what each platform is, the types of the companies that you can find there so that you can go if you want to consider to get there, and which professionals should use these platforms, and then what types of jobs should you search for if you go to those platforms, and how I would personally, in my experience as a coach, actually approach the platforms that I'm talking about if I was to look for a remote job. So today I need you to get your notebook ready. I don't know if you're using your phone, maybe you can actually use your phone to do that. And we are going to get into some of these platforms. And let me do an introduction of who I am. My name is Joan Batila. I am a remote project manager. I work in the healthcare sector as a remote project manager remotely. That is one of the things that I do. You can check my LinkedIn. There's so much to know about me there. The second thing that you need to know about me is I'm also a founder of Fortune Academy, which is a consultancy firm where we do mentorship and career coaching for those of you who want to get into remote work. We equip you with the skills that you need for you to learn to get into remote work. And thirdly, we also do outsourcing, connecting global talents with remote opportunities outside. And then fourth, we normally train organizations that would want to get into remote workspace and they would want to build on their productivity. Those are things that we do. So if you fall on those categories, you can actually reach out to us. My number will be in the description box, or the email that will be in the description box. Just reach out to us through that and we'll be able just to help you through that. All right. This is my YouTube channel and I document my life together with teaching long format videos on remote work. All right. So thank you so much, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed. There are quite a lot of you who are watching my videos and are not subscribers. Please don't be one of them. Just hit the subscribe button down here and be able just to enjoy this content, and like this video, comment, share it so that it can reach to as many people as we can so that they can learn about remote work. All right, let's get into it. Which is the first platform is Wellfound. So let's start with Wellfound. Wellfound is particularly important for people who want to work with startups and growing technology companies. So if you're here and your goal is to work with startups, and people who have goals to work with startups are people who want to grow in their career fast, and these are people who are actually growing and they would want to learn different topics, different skills in different careers. And so Wellfound is best for people who want to work with startups and growing technology. So you might also remember that this platform, before it was called the Angel List Talent, before it was renamed to Wellfound. I know you can remember there's a platform called Angel List. Or some of you are actually hearing this for the first time. So that platform was actually renamed to Wellfound. And so if you're somebody who says that I want to work for a startup, I want to work for an international technology company, or I want to work in a fast-moving environment, then Wellfound should be your site that should be on your radar right now. So some of the professionals who can benefit from this platform include the product managers. One of the biggest growing careers right now actually is product management. Software developers, you can actually consider Wellfound. UI UX designers, you can actually consider to be in Wellfound. UI UX designers also pay so well. Marketers, you can actually also consider to be in Wellfound. Operations professionals, you can also consider to do this. Customer success professionals and other startup focused roles. So if your role is startup focused, you can actually consider to work with Wellfound. One thing I want you to understand is that about especially about startups is that they often look for people who can do more than simply following instructions. So if you're here and you're good at following only instructions, please don't go and apply to these platforms. That is the Wellfound. But if you know that you're someone who can go beyond the instructions that you've been given, you can sacrifice for the company, you can actually consider to work for Wellfound. They value actually people who can solve problems. If you want to work with Wellfound, for example, instead of saying that you are responsible for managing projects, your CV should actually communicate that you coordinated cross-functional projects across marketing, operations, product teams, and improving on-time project delivery. That is how you're supposed to actually communicate. You see the difference between the first one and the second one? That is how they want you to actually try and communicate who you are. So try as much as possible to demonstrate results on your CV if you want to go and apply on Wellfound. And when you are applying to startups through the platforms like this Wellfound, your CV should actually emphasize on impact, on ownership, on adaptability, on measurable results. Please focus on those things when you're writing your CV. So they don't only search for a virtual assistant, they try to search titles like operations coordinator, executive assistant, customer success specialist, project coordinator, implementation specialist, product operations associate, marketing coordinator, startups operation associate, and sometimes the skills that fit the opportunities that have completely different job titles. So try as much as possible to learn these skills, to learn the terminologies, to learn how to position yourself with these skills, and know how you are called through that platform. The other platform that works best as this is actually Y Combinator. Just the same as Wellfound, Y Combinator also works the same. You are going to be connected with startups, founders, and everyone in that line. All right. Thank you so much. Let's go to the second platform. The second platform is Jobspreso. Jobspreso actually focuses on curated remote opportunities across several professional categories. This can be useful for people working in certain areas like marketing, human resources, customer support, technology, product, sales, and any other digital roles that you might think about. So the word I want you to remember in this conversation is the word curated. When you're looking for remote jobs, one of the biggest problem that you guys go through is noise. You listen to noise everywhere. Like everyone is saying this, someone is advising you this, someone is advising you this, and now you don't know what is it that you're supposed to pick on. And so I normally call that noise, and I normally say that you need to do an introspection. Even as a coach, when I coach you, I don't decide a career for you. I want to actually sit down and do an introspection and see what is it that you want for yourself and for the growth of your career. So you search for remote jobs, customer support jobs online, and suddenly you're going through hundreds of actually random listings. That is what we call noise. Specialized remote job boards can actually help you to just narrow down that search. So, but here is something that is very important that you need to actually listen to. Don't depend on the job board alone. When you see an opportunity you are interested in, please research about the company very well as well. Don't just depend on the job board alone. Go to the company's official website, check their career page, research what the company does, and then customize your application around what that organization actually needs. This is something that many applicants don't do. They see a customer support specialist role, and then they click apply, and then they upload the same CV that they have used for 50 other applications. I hope that now that you've been following me and you've been seeing my videos here on YouTube, you have stopped that habit of sending one CV to 50 jobs. I hope that you are tailoring your CV to fit into a job description, and I hope that you really, really understand what it means to do that. All right, so don't send 50 CVs to 50 applications and then move on. That is not a strategy. All right, so use the job board actually to discover the opportunity and then research before applying. And that is something that is going to help you with this platform. That is Jobspreso. That is the tip that is going to help you with this. Don't use one CV. Please try as much as possible to discover the opportunity. Go to this company and research, know how that company is working, and tailor your CV to fit into whatever it is that they are looking for. The third site is Dynamite Jobs. Sorry, Dynamite Jobs. That is the third site that you can check out with. This is another remote focused job platform, and it can be particularly interesting for professionals that are in areas like operations, like executive assistants, like marketing, like customer success, like sales, like project coordination, and other roles that are supporting online businesses and distributed teams. All right. So if you are transitioning into remote work from a traditional office environment, don't automatically assume that you need to start your career again from zero. You just need to learn how to translate your existing experience into the language of remote work. Yeah, that is what we call the transferable skills. Whatever you've been doing in your physical setup, you can actually be able to just transfer it into the language of remote work. You can actually be able to express it in the language that most people that are hiring remotely can actually understand. So, for example, if you are responsible to coordinate meetings in an office, that could actually translate into calendar and meeting coordination. That is how you're supposed to present it on your CV. If you prepared reports, that is documentation and reporting. If you followed up on different departments, that is cross-functional coordination. So when you communicate on your CV, it will be like you were doing cross-functional coordination. If you managed customer complaints, that is customer support and client relationship management. That is how you're going to present it on your CV. If you tracked deadlines, that is project coordination. Your experience may already be relevant. The challenge is how to position it correctly. And this platform, that is uh, Dynamite Jobs, it's going to favor you if you're able just to put the tips that I've given you on your CV. Try as much as possible to use your transferable skills and communicate them the best way when you come into the remote workspace. All right. And then position yourself in a correct way if you want to get into remote work using Dynamite Jobs. The platform number 4 is actually JustRemote. JustRemote covers opportunities across multiple industries and professional areas. And this is one platform that I would actually recommend exploring whether you are relatively new to remote work or already you have a professional experience. But here is where people make mistakes when it comes to this site. That is the Just Remote site. All right, they search for one job title. Let's say your goal is actually to become a virtual assistant. You type virtual assistant and then you find 3 opportunities and then you conclude there are no jobs. No, I need you to expand your search when it comes to uh, this site, Just Remote. When you're going to search, try virtual assistant. You'll get 3 opportunities. You can apply to those 3 opportunities. Try other names like administrative assistant, executive assistant, operations assistant, administrative coordinator, project assistant, customer support, client success, scheduling coordinator, remote office assistant. That is only for the VA space. Depending on your career that you are in, you are a customer success manager, you are a customer service person. What are the words that people use to advertise your job? What about a HR? What about you who is an accountant? You need to know what are the common words that people use to actually advertise your career. And then when you go to search on this site that is actually just remote, you try and make sure that you try as much as possible to include all those words in your search. It's going to have a vast search. Don't just search. If you are a HR, you're just going to search about human resource. Do you know that HRs are sometimes called people in culture, sometimes they're called recruitment specialist, sometimes are called onboarding specialist. Whatever it is, please go and research on what are the names that are called in your career and use that together. This applies to all careers across. All right. So your skills may qualify you for multiple job titles. So search for those job titles and then just know that remote job searching requires understanding your skill family and not just one job title. So understand the skill family. It's good that we have that name that is called the skill family. So try as much as possible to understand that. The number 5 platform is Working Nomads. That is the other site that you can consider. Just as the name suggests, this platform is built around location independent and remote careers. You can find opportunities across areas like technology, like sales, marketing, customer success, management, and other remote friendly professions. You can actually be able just to get there. Now, something very important about many African audience is that you always check the location requirements. Always check the location requirements. Remote job does not automatically mean that it's worldwide. This is something that's very important if you're checking for a job in on LinkedIn, or if you're checking for a job on also working nomads, the one that we're talking about. So when someone says remote, it doesn't automatically mean that it's worldwide. I'll keep on repeating that, because remote does not make you to feel like you are going to work from anywhere. A job can be remote, but it's restricted in the United States. In this site, that is the working nomads, I think it's so common to see such roles that you'll get a job in working nomads, and then the job might be restricted to work in the United States, in Europe, in Canada, for a particular time zone. So if it's a particular time zone, you need to calculate and ask yourself, am I able to work that time zone? If they say the time zone is PST or whatever, calculate their working hours and see what time will it be in your country, and ask yourself, are you able to actually do that time zone, or it will be a strain to you. All right. So there are those that have specific countries. If it has specific countries and you're not from that country, don't apply. But if it has a time zone restriction, ask yourself, are you able to work that time zone, or it will be strenuous to you? And then apply according to whatever your answer will be. So before spending 30 minutes cellaring your CV, read the location requirements when it comes to working nomads. Look for words such as worldwide, global, anywhere, or EMEA, or remote Africa. Those are the ones that are going to lead you to apply to that job, or specific countries that you are eligible to work from. Like there are those that will say they are hiring from specific countries in Kenya, specific countries in Africa. And if you know that your country is in there, you can actually be able just to apply through that. This is one habit that actually can save you quite a huge amount of time. I normally say, even on LinkedIn, instead of just applying for the sake of applying, check, does it have restrictions of time zone? Does it have restrictions of countries and everything around that? The platform number 6 is Remote OK. This is one of the better known remote job boards, particularly within the technology ecosystem. You might find opportunities for software developers, you might find opportunities for engineers, you might find opportunities for designers, for customer support professionals, for product professionals. I told you product management is something that is growing, for marketing professionals, and other digital careers that you can actually get there. Again, don't let the amount of technical roles in that platform, that is Remote OK, actually, don't let the amount of technical roles discourage you from applying if you're not a developer. Technology companies do not only hire developers. They don't only hire developers. A software company still needs someone to support their customers, someone to manage their products, someone to manage their projects, someone to run operations, someone to sell the product, someone to create content, someone to actually manage communities, to recruit employees, to coordinate executives, and to manage customer relationships. So no matter how many technology jobs are out there, remember that actually you can also apply and be able just to get in. So if you're not in tech, I need you to ask yourself, what function can I perform inside the technology company? Because we can't negate the fact that many companies that are hiring remotely are technology companies. And so how do you come to contribute your expertise in those companies? All right. You don't necessarily need to know how to code for you to work for a tech company. Just learn the skills that I've told you, and you'll be able to get into a remote company. Great. Site number 7 is called Be Remote. This platform focuses on opportunities around business and technology. This can make it this can make it useful for professionals such as those of you are in business analysts, marketers, developers, and operations professionals. You can actually check out Be Remote. And people working across digital business functions, you can actually also consider to actually check out Be Remote. For specialized job boards like this, your keywords are extremely important. Be Remote is a specialized job board. Don't randomly browse hundreds of opportunities in there. Know what you're looking for. For example, someone with experience in project coordination might search a job like they might search jobs that have been written: project coordinator, program coordinator, operations coordinator, implementation coordinator, project administrator, client delivery coordinator, PMO coordinator. These are all under project management. So project managers who are listening to me, there are many skills system that you can actually be able just to use to search for the jobs that you're looking for. Those titles can involve overlapping skills, and then you can also build a list of approximately 5 to 10 related job titles for your career, so that you can be able just to use to search for the things that you need to search for these specialized job boards. Then use those titles across different platforms. All right. Try as much as possible to integrate these things into your search. Don't use just one word. Don't just go and say, I'm looking for virtual assistant or project management, and then when you don't get roles, you leave. Choose and actually look for job titles in your career that are actually related to your career. Number 8 site is Authentic Jobs. You can go and check out Authentic Jobs. This one is particularly interesting for people who are in creative and digital careers. Think about you being a designer, a developer, a copywriter, a creative professional, a digital professional. If you're creative, your application strategy should be slightly different. Creative people, you know that your application is different. Your CV matters, but your portfolio is very important. You have to have your portfolio if you're a creative person. So it matters just as much as sometimes more than even your CV. All right. So if you're a designer, please show your designs. If you're a copywriter, where are your writing samples? Do you have a Medium account? What about a blog site? Do you have it? If you're a developer, can you show projects that you've been able to build on GitHub or whatever platform that you're using? If you're a social media professional, demonstrate campaigns, content or results where you are appropriate. All right. Don't just tell employers that you are creative. Show them that you are actually creative, and your portfolio is going to reduce the amount of imagination that the employer needs. So instead of wondering can you where so instead of an employer wondering whether you can do the job, they can actually see the evidence and the capabilities of actually doing the job. And that is the trick with Authentic Jobs. You cannot actually pass through that without having a portfolio of your creative work and everything around that. The number 9 site is a very interesting site, and it's called the Hitmarker. It's called the Hitmarker. So this is a specialized platform that is focused on careers with gaming and esports. I told you that today I'm going to give you a certain platform for e-gaming and esports, and that is a Hitmarker. And this is why I wanted to include this in the specialized job boards in this video, because sometimes the problem isn't that there are no opportunities. You're simply searching in the wrong ecosystem. So gaming companies need more professional gamers. I know most of you are good in gaming. You can consider that. So they need more than professional gamers. So if you're a gamer, you can consider that. But also there are opportunities for those of you who are not into gaming. All right. So they're going to need people to do community management, to do designing, to do developers. They will need developers. They will need marketing professionals. They will need content professionals. Think about it, guys. I know some of you are like, oh, okay, so I can go and do gaming. But no, what about you do something of everyone is going to that platform to look for gaming? What about if you get into that platform as a designer, as a developer, as a marketing professional, as a content professional, as an operations professional, as a customer support, as a social media manager, as a partnerships professionals, and many other roles that you might think of. So think about the industries that you genuinely understand or enjoy, like healthcare, like fintech, like gaming, like education, like SaaS, like e-commerce, like AI, artificial intelligence, travel, digital media. Sometimes specializing in an industry can make your job to be more targeted. So instead of becoming a customer support specialist, you could actually position yourself as a customer support specialist for SaaS companies. An example is me. I've positioned myself as a project manager who works with healthcare companies. You can also position yourself as a customer support or whatever person that you are in a specific company. Or you can position yourself as a community manager specialized in the gaming communities. So that is how you can actually be able just to cross through this platform that we are calling Hitmarker, or this platform that is called Hitmarker. Go and position yourself as someone who is a specialist in that field. That is the e-gaming field, because specialization can actually help employers to understand where you fit in. As everyone is going to look for gaming opportunities, you are going to look for opportunities in other fields, and that is something that is going to get you into remote work. Number 10 site is Takova, and Stackover is the tech job ecosystem. So you've heard that most of the companies that are hiring remotely are actually tech companies. So how do you get into the tech ecosystem without being in the tech field? That is what we're going to talk about. So Stackover is one of the best known communities in the software development world. I know software developers, you can actually hear me and you know that. But if you don't know and you're a software developer, go and check out Stackover. All right. So historically, it's actually dedicated. It's dedicated job products was strongly associated with software engineering recruitment. However, the job search ecosystem has changed over time. So don't assume that every platform you see it's an old remote job list and it's still operating the same way. So like Stackover was actually started very long ago, and right now it has evolved, and now they have actually built an ecosystem around the software engineering company. So this is something that is going to bring an important lesson to me, to you guys, and even to me. Always verify that a job board or career feature is currently active before building a strategy around it. Before building a strategy around a job board, please try as much as possible to just verify if it's inactive, if the feature is still working. For software professional, think beyond one platform and look across developer communities. Startup boards, career pages, and current technology focused job platforms. Those are things that you need to look at. So typically, if you go in there to search for a job in Stackover, the roles that you need to search for include software developer, front end developer, back end developer, full stack developer, DevOps engineer, uh, cloud cloud engineer, right? Hey, cloud engineer, QA engineer, data engineer, and other technical roles that you might get there. And if you're applying for roles in Stackover, your online presence is very important. All right. So you need to have a GitHub, you need to have your portfolio, your projects have to be well aligned, and your technical skills and your contributions have to be good. I'm now rushing because I think the video has gone extreme. We are not supposed to get to these minutes. So employers actually want evidence that you can actually build and solve technical platforms. So if you're a software engineer, Stackover is something that you can consider. Anyone in the technical, you can actually get there. So how do you use these job boards? I know now you have 10 platforms that I've just mentioned. But I don't want you to finish this video and open tabs and start sending 100 applications. That is not what I'm teaching you. And I hope that is not what I'm teaching you every day here when I talk about sites. I want you to build a remote job search system. All right. And here is how. First, choose approximately 3 to 5 platforms that match your career. And then if you're targeting startups, prioritize startup focused platforms. If you're a designer, prioritize creative platforms. If you're a developer, prioritize the technical platforms. If you're in operations, look for platforms that actually consistently advertise operations position. Secondly, create your keyword bank. Write down 5 to 10 job titles that match your skills. That is the keyword bank. All right. And then, for example, if you're targeting to get into operations, you can have 5 like operations assistant, operations coordinator, project coordinator, executive assistant, administrative coordinator, client success coordinator, implementation coordinator, and project program coordinator. Those are the things. Those are the things that you can create together. If you're targeting, those are the job titles that you can use if you're targeting operations. All right. The third thing is that you need to check these platforms consistently. You don't need to spend 8 hours every day applying for jobs. You just need to create a system where you might be spending like 30 minutes finding the relevant opportunities, then find your actual time of just creating high quality applications. And then number 4 is that you need to customize your CV, read the job description, identify repeated skills, and then look at the responsibility. Then ask yourself, what evidence do I have that I can use to solve these problems? That is what that is what should actually appear on your CV. And then the fifth is that you need to track your application. Don't just apply and then keep quiet. Create a spreadsheet that has a company, the position, the job board, the date applied, the application status, the follow-up date, the interview stage, and together also have a job description and the CV that you're sending out, because CVs change in each and every application that you're going to make. All right. After 30 to 50 applications, you'll have data. Maybe Wellfound will give you more responses. Maybe another platform will give you nothing. Maybe customer success applications will get you interviews. While virtual assistant applications will not get you interviews, that information is going to help you to improve on your strategy. I don't know if you guys have strategies when it comes to remote applications. If you don't have a strategy, you can actually reach out to us and we can give you a strategy on how to apply and get interviews and get into remote work. And finally, I normally insist that quality is more than quantity. All right, so don't send 100 generic applications. It's not automatically better than sending 20 well targeted applications. So try as much as possible just to have well targeted applications, even if they are few. That is your shot. That is what is going to make you to come in. All right. So let's recap what we've covered today. I know it has been a whole lecture, but this YouTube channel is actually for lectures. So, we talked about Wellfound for startup opportunities. We've talked about Jobspreso for curated remote jobs. Dynamite, we've talked about for remote first opportunities across areas such as operations, marketing, and support. JustRemote for multiple remote careers categories. Working Nomads for location independent careers. Remote OK, particularly for technology and digital opportunities. Be Remote for business technologies, and then Authentic Jobs for creative and digital professionals. Hitmarker for gaming and esports opportunities. And then we've discussed Stackover and why you should always verify whether older job board recommendations still have an active product today. And then here is why actually I have made this video. I need you to remember from this video. Actually, this is what I want you to remember from this video. Finding remote jobs isn't about only where to search. It's about knowing what you're qualified for. Please know what you're qualified for, how employers describe your skills, which industries need those skills that you have, and then which platforms these employers use, and then how to position yourself and find the opportunities. It's very important. Don't try to be everywhere. Choose one platform that matches your career, optimize your CV to fit into that, and then build your portfolio where relevant, optimize your LinkedIn to also fit into that career. Use the right keywords, have your keywords in your fingertips, and then track your applications, and then stay consistent, especially when it gets boring and hard. Please continue applying, especially if you get rejections. Please continue applying. All right, so if this video has actually helped you, I'd really like you to please like my video, subscribe. Let me know what you want me to talk about in the comment section. I'll make a video about it, a long format video about it, and then subscribe to my YouTube channel. We are almost at the 500 mark, guys. We have less than 20 people we get to the 500 mark, and I know 20 of you are watching this and haven't subscribed. Please just subscribe and support this YouTube channel. All right, and so I really love to hear in the comment section what is it that you think about these platforms. What should we talk about? What is it that you would want me to hear from me, especially on the platforms, and what have you learned in this video? I hope it was detailed enough, because I tried to make it very detailed for you to be able just to learn, and I hope I haven't used a lot of ambiguous English so that some of you have gotten lost. All right, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. See you at the top. If you want to reach out to me, my number is in the description box together with my email. Feel free just to email me or to WhatsApp me or call me, and you'll be able just to hear my voice from the other end, and you're going to have an interaction and just have to talk about these things. Thank you so much, and bye guys. See you all next week.